whatever's reasonable in that situation, which I think what I've said should make sense. We would love to provide more information in regards to Mika in our community. Any ideas where to start or any experts you would suggest? Yes. Again, I don't like shilling too much, but I can quite comfortably tell you that a good friend of mine, James Burney, partner at Gunner Cook, is probably your best bet in terms of Mika. If it's not him specifically, he'll know someone. He's going to hate me for saying this. Um, but yeah, connect with him on LinkedIn. He might put something on there. I don't remember, but yeah, definitely. Last time I spoke to the guy was yesterday, Brandon. He's a good friend of mine, and he's in my personal opinion, one of the best crypto lawyers in the country. And yeah, definitely the know of Mika, and at least his group team is, if not him specifically. Finlu team again. Does the Etherscan with the wallet address look reasonable for them? No. No, Finlu. I see I see what you've done there, and that is fair if that's the last resort. However, if you don't mind putting a bit more context on there, why couldn't you get CSV file? Surely, if it's a MetaMask wallet, for example, or something, then there will be a CSV file. If not, there'll be some form of data. I don't think I've come across anywhere where there wasn't data unless it's something like FTX where it's just no one there to help. But yeah, the wallet address, I wouldn't send that to them. I wouldn't feel comfortable if that's the only source of data I have for the client. If it's a few lines, like a dozen or so, fine. But like I said, our average um, transactions per year would be about 3,000. Don't get me wrong, we've got clients who I think the biggest one we had was 5.85 million transactions in total, and that we had to again deal with in one fashion or another. So that type of thing would take far too long for everyone. Uh, no problem, Brandon. I'm going to wrap up very shortly. I know we've gone on slightly too long. I'm just going to go through the last comment here. Frankly, just wondering if you had any cases like that. No context, to be honest. That's fine. No, we haven't had any situations where we haven't had CSV files or at least API feeds on one way or another. So that hasn't happened thus far. I'm not sure why, if I'm honest. We've had situations where we've had to shoehorn in the available data into software and kind of play around with what was actually happening in the data that we had. So, for example, we had all the purchases and sales, but they weren't quite linking to the disposal of other assets, I believe, and we had to manually link them on software. But what we did was we created the missing links onto the CSV file, put it into the correct format, and then uploaded it. And it was as accurate as it could possibly be. So, and that's probably the worst one I can think of. So, in most situations, CSV files would be available in some form, and if they're not, they're probably on something really weird and, like I said, an awkward chain. And it might be a little bit too far for, again, your particular skill set at the moment, because everyone's clearly learning. Software gets better and we get better. So hopefully that has helped. Hopefully that's answered most of your questions. I see one more from Adela I want to get through. I've just seen that popped up on the Q&A. What about bot trading and crypto mining? Are there any pitfalls to consider aside from what's mentioned in your presentation? Bot trading, yes, I would consider that that's a high level of sophistication in terms of their investment. Now, with the badges of trade, I would always add that as a 10th question. I know that's unfortunate because it balances out the question, so you could have a 50-50 split. But I think it's important that the last question is in relation to what the client's doing. Does it have a lot high level of sophistication than the average investor? Okay, and that's where the bot trading or algorithms come into it. But apart from that, it's fairly standard. Lots of things going on. We just have to segregate that as a trade in itself in some situations if you deem it to be a trade. In terms of crypto mining, not really anything from a higher level. It's a case of it's most likely trade. If it's at a certain level, if it's a little bit of mining, then it's going to be miscellaneous income. Again, it's all relevant to the client and what's going on. So, what are the pitfalls there? Well, crypto mining, Mining itself could be self-employed, it could be miscellaneous income. Depends. So that's probably something to watch out for. But aside from that, can't see anything off the top of my head. So yeah, hopefully everyone's got a little bit something from this. It's again, I didn't want to do 2 hours because it gets very boring. But as you can see, we've already gone over our hour quite quickly and we scratched the surface. So hopefully you've come across, you can retain some of this. If you've got any questions, my details are on screen. I welcome all questions. LinkedIn is great, but I get absolutely flooded on there and I don't quite get to most of it. My emails are fine. My Twitter's fine. Just like I said, I'm a degen myself. So when you look at it, you go, "Is that Jamie? Yeah, it's me. I'm getting stuck in. I'm trading. I'm tweeting. I'm making friends." If not, we've obviously got Miner and then Nefos contact details as well. Happy to answer all questions where possible. We often do this type of thing where we offer educational content as well. So there might be even something online. I know 2020 innovation for a lot of accountants. I did an extended version of this in 2020. I think it was in 2023 specialism section. So yeah, I've been Jamie Nuttall. I've had a wonderful time. I hope that you have taken something away from this. And yeah, good luck with whatever you need.